Water is life. Bubbling merrily along or flowing sedately, it is the main lifeline of human activity. Water is nature's gift to mankind, a gift which brings a song to his lips and prosperity to his home. If managed well and used with thrift and caution, water is man's true friend. But if abused, it can turn into his worst enemy. It takes hundreds of years for the formation of soil. Yet, every year, millions of tons of rich topsoil is washed away by rainwater. What is left are naked, barren mountains and hill slopes, stripped of all greenery. This gushing water, which could have proved a boon to crops, was allowed to run off, taking with it the top crust of the soil. As this farmer laments, rain or shine, we always face drought. It is the same story year after year. Watershed management is the key to solving the problem of erosion and water scarcity. Water flowing out of the watershed is impounded behind small dams or harvested in depressions. Wastelands and marginal farmlands can be transformed into productive assets by land and water management. Watershed management involves the treating of catchment areas through soil and water conservation measures and the establishment of vegetative cover. Harvesting runoff rainwater provides surface storage and helps in recharging the groundwater supply. The second step towards successful soil conservation is shaping the land along contours. Where land is sloping, only contour farming is advised. Where excess water is likely to accumulate, that part of the bund is made of stones to drain water but retain soil. A simple device called the A-frame is used for marking contour lines on sloping land. Even an illiterate farmer can use the A-frame on his own. Darekar, a farmer from Urali Kanchan, is witness to its benefits.
पूर्वी कंट्रोल रेषा काढण्यासाठी इंजिनियरची आवश्यकता भासत असे. A-frame कमी खर्चात होते आणि हाताळण्यास सोपी आहे. A-frameचा उपयोग करून मी आता कंटूर रेषा काढतो.
No longer do we need the services of a surveyor. We can mark out the contour lines ourselves. Contour trenches and bunds are made for soil and water conservation. The soil excavated from the trench is used to form a bund on the lower side. The contour bund checks the flow of runoff water and prevents the loose soil from being washed away. Silt settles down behind the bund while water percolates into the ground. A trench cum bund makes the process of percolation more effective. Sturdy, fast-growing and multi-purpose tree species need to be planted on the bund to strengthen it. The plantation also provides fodder, fuel wood, timber and green manure. The vegetation absorbs the impact of raindrops, while the roots provide an anchor to the soil. Silt flowing in with the water is trapped in the trench. Planting grasses, such as vetiver, helps to hold the soil. Vetiver grass can be planted on the bunds or even directly on the sloping land to make a vegetative barrier. Dense plantation of such vegetation in rills helps to prevent the formation of gullies. Deforestation and shifting cultivation on steep slopes further aggravates the problem of soil erosion. Without a vegetative cover, the heavy runoff comes down in flash floods, causing enormous destruction. Eventually, the mounting speed of runoff water turns farmlands into huge gullies, depleting all soil cover. Wind and water are not the only hazards. Unchecked grazing by animals wreaks further destruction. In the end, fertile, productive land turns into barren wasteland. The trend can be reversed if we take immediate action to stop soil erosion. One such measure is gully plugging. Gully plugging consists of putting bunds in a gully to hold back silt and reduce the erosive velocity of water. A gully plug can be made either of stone or earthen bunds. Planting shrubs or grasses further strengthens the bund. The process of restoring gullies begins with the construction of a series of such gully plugs. Year after year, the muddy water flows in. Year after year, the gully plugs retain silt, thereby forming fertile terraces which can be used for farming and plantation. Notice this layer of rich soil, which otherwise would have been washed away. A gully plug is also provided with a stone apron to prevent damage by turbulent water flow. Every year, repair and maintenance of gully plugs and contour bunds must be carried out before the monsoon to prevent further damage during the rains. Where a large area is to be treated, staggered trenches are recommended. Staggered trenches require less earthwork and help to cut down costs. The runoff water escaping between two adjacent trenches is caught in a trench dug between and lower than them. This is how it works. Increased moisture availability helps the establishment and growth of trees. With such trench cum bunds, even steep slopes can be brought under plantation. Eventually, it transforms the entire area.
आता झाडांना पाणी नाही दिलं तरी झाडं तग धरू शकतात.
Now, even if we do not water the plants regularly, they do not die, says the farmer. What was once a barren stretch of land has been transformed into a productive plantation. What were once the brown slopes of a naked hill are now the site of lush, green, welcome woods. One of the very useful plants for soil conservation is agave. Close planting of agave establishes a vegetative barrier even on poor soil and under very low rainfall. Agave can be planted along contours as a live hedge or on bunds. Agave fiber is useful for making rope and thus provides additional income. Yet another method of land shaping is terracing of sloping land. Terracing involves a mixed process of half cutting into and half filling up the slope on a hillside. Terracing is done only in areas which provide a thick layer of soil. It is not enough to shape the land. The bunds must be reinforced with plantation. If this principle is forgotten, the cultivator can come to grief as Tilekar did.
जमीन डेव्हलप केली व टप्पे पाडले आणि बांधावरती झाडं न लावल्यामुळं आमचं पावसाने फार नुकसान झालं, माती वाळून गेली. आता झाडं लावायचा विचार केलेला आहे.
For lack of protective vegetation, his crop was swept away. Today, he is wiser. Unlike Tilekar, Appa Kard, a progressive farmer, is a happy man, for he protected his terraces.
जमिनीची धूप झाली होती. अगोदर जमिनीचा उतार किती तो पाहिला. आणखी धूप होऊ नये म्हणून उतारावर आडवे टप्पे पाडले. दगड रचून मातीने भरून जमीन समपातळीत केली.
In fact, watershed planning is an integral part of farming on undulating land. Such micro-watershed development ensures sound management of land water resources available to the farmers. Besides, recharging the groundwater supply has ensured year-round availability of water through open wells, as this farmer testifies.
आत्ता कुठलीच येर कोरडी राहिली नाही.
All these measures are relevant not only for hill slopes, but are also equally necessary for farmlands. With an assured water supply, work on farms begins in earnest.
पाण्याची सोय झाल्यामुळं वर्षभर काम आम्हाला शेतात पुरतं. मजुरीला जायची काही गरज नाही.
No longer am I insecure, says the farmer. No longer need I migrate to the city each summer in search of work. His neighbor beams happily with a similar story.
साठवलेल्या पाण्यावरची आम्ही वर्षात 2-2 पिकं घेतो.
Thanks to land water management, my farm now yields not just 1 but 2 crops every year. In contour farming, the cultivator has to plough across the slope. Each plough line acts as a miniature bund. Intercropping trees with crops in agroforestry system reduces runoff water and enriches the soil. All such measures lead to sustained fertility and higher productivity. Now, the animals also benefit. The farmers grow fodder separately and stall feed their animals. Hence, the animals have plenty to eat.
म्हणून मी जनावरांसाठी चारा पीक घेतलं.
मी माझ्या गुरांना गोठ्यातच चारा देत असतो. चरायला रानामध्ये पाठवत नाही.
The animals don't have to be taken out to graze. They get the fodder right in the cow shed. There is another spin-off as well.
ही बांधावर सीताफळ लावल्यामुळं जमिनीची धूप ही थांबली आणि शेजारी असणाऱ्या तंबाट्याचं उभं पीक ह्या सीताफळीमुळे वाचलं गेलं वाऱ्यापासून.
The trees grown on the bunds provide protection to the crops from sun and wind. To the villager, they give the cool comfort of shade.
पोटाला भाकरी मिळत होती, पण झाडाची सावली बसायला नव्हती.
We used to have food earlier, but no shade in which we could eat it. Today, the area is lush with trees. The farmer can genuinely enjoy the fruits of his labor. Over 70% of India's arable land depends only on rainfall. The key to success lies in conserving these precious gifts, soil and water. Only micro-level water and soil management schemes can take the farmer from insecurity to prosperity. Remember, water is life.